Yeah, I mean, the cognitive dissonance around this that is so ubiquitous in society is something that struck me as soon as I started talking to people about aging in the mid 90s. And I call it the pro-aging trance, where people hold transparently, like such obviously mutually contradictory opinions, just as you've just described, and yet they can't get out of it. They just can't find a way to understand that these things are contradictory. And so, a lot of my work, of course, is not just science, but advocacy, getting people to see, to wake up from that trance. It's very hard. But yeah, I mean, the reason it's hard is also something that I've understood for a long time, namely that everyone knows that aging's extremely ghastly and that they come from a long line of death, as Norm Macdonald put it. In other words, people don't know what to do about it. And until very recently, really until I came along, there was no plan even. There was no idea how we would ever go about doing something about aging, stopping people from getting sick when they get old. And therefore, there was no idea of how soon it would happen. And if you're in that position, then you've got to find some way to put this ghastly thing out of your mind and get on with your miserably short life and make the best of it rather than being preoccupied by this terrible thing that's going to happen to you in the future. And once you've got that far, once you've decided that you need to rationalize this out of your mind, it doesn't matter how irrational your rationalizations are, just as long as they work. Just as long as you are able to trick yourself into believing that aging is some kind of blessing in disguise, or else that it's so, intrinsically woven into the fabric of the universe that it's inherently off limits to medicine forever. So it's only now that we have an actual plan that no longer makes sense and that we need to wake people up out of the pro-aging trance.